A fellow doctor actually said that if he ever found himself in such a situation, that he would want to, his words, I'll tell them to save both. If they can't, then I have no choice than to go for the baby. Can't leave my blood to go that way. That was his comment, and I'm like,
Your opinion, that's your opinion, and that's your family. You should make sure he has that conversation with whoever he intends to marry in future. That my baby, I beg, as you won't go get
baby, my wife. Exactly.
Yeah. Because you call her baby now. My wife, as you go get this belly, just know if complication happen and they ask me to pick, I will pick the child. Just let her know. Do you understand? Let her know.
Number again, the whole situation of mother and child, a situation where a woman is pregnant, right, and then during labor it becomes so hard a decision to make that doctors say it's either the wife or the baby. And funnily enough, I was watching House of Dragons over the weekend, and I saw like that pretty scenario where they told King Viserys that, listen, the only choice right now is to open her up and remove the baby, and she's going to lose a lot of blood and die, that kind of thing. And for the social media bans, even one doctor came out and said if he's ever in that situation, he's going to pick his child over his wife.
That conversation has trended on social media a lot
of times, exactly.
And
so,
I'm never not shocked at some responses
right.
that I see.
It's wild anyways. And Lagos, basically, if there's ever a situation where your partner, your woman, obviously for the men, is in labor and you have the choice of saving the baby or the mother, who are you going to save? Who are you going to ask the doctors to save? And if, God forbid, you find yourself in that situation, women, who would you want for your husband to save? Would you want your child to, carry on living, or would you want to leave and then, stand the chance to make other babies? Whatever it is, please let us know. 09099164403 or 09160357705. We'll be speaking to our doctor in a couple of minutes, but for now, ladies and gentlemen, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Cha-cha. How you doing?
Good evening, my neighbor.
Good evening, my neighbor. You don't reach house.
I don't read that. Today I'm probably going to
Avina.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Chaja, let's hear you.
We're doing
what
great.
An interesting topic. Okay. For me, it's a very simple decision to make.
Oh, okay.
Sincerely. Yeah. I will 100% save my wife's life. 100%.
Right.
And the reason is simple, okay? My wife is she's the bearer of the children. She has the womb, okay? So if I save her life, within 9 months time, she conceives again, and we have another child. Why lose my wife's life because of a child? It doesn't worth it, okay? For me, I will even think twice.
Right.
I will think twice.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. Save my wife's life, and we keep having children, because I don't want to go through the stress of going to even toast a woman, not even talk of going through marital process again. Marriage.
And, this era of subsidy removal.
But what has first subsidy removal got to do with it?
Thank you so much, Chaja.
This is actually a very important conversation when we look at it broadly, especially from the perspective of like maternal mortality. So I think it's even a conversation that people should have, because when we talk about all this kind of things, people say God forbid. Well, it
happens. It has been happening. It will continue to happen.
And I saw a report that said that maternal mortality declined by 34% between 2020 and 2022. Yeah. No, between 2000 and 2020.
Okay.
So it has declined like in a couple of by 34%. But regardless, it still happens. So it's a
happens.
conversation that people need to be able to have. Like if you were in this situation, there were complications. Where would you go? Where would you turn to?
Right.
Would you pick your wife? Would you pick your child?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, keep the calls coming in. 09160357705. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening.
I want
What's
to
your
say
name?
good
My name
morning.
is Solomon.
Hi,
Hey,
Solomon.
Solomon the wise one.
Yeah, I'm doing good. First of all, God forbid bad thing, no. No go happen, no.
Yeah.
For a case, it's up like if I'm in that position, it's my wife who told picking one never see go maybe just go back home. Maybe God doesn't want them back. It goes
He said, "Forgive me, I never see." He said, "I don't even know you. I've not met you before. Like, I don't know you. What if we don't get along?"
Connection with your wife
Yeah.
and everything. Abusing it again and again. Okay, if you let the baby leave now me want to breastfeed the child. I might want to breastfeed the child for all those stress, and I'll never.
Oh, so it's about changing.
My emotion, my conscience never want me to allow that woman to take care of my child. So
Right.
No.
Right.
Don't worry, God is God. Maybe God doesn't want that child back, so don't worry. I'll just console my wife. By God's grace, we have on that. But he long. My wife.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Solomon.
you.
I mean, this is just a scenario of tell me you're in Nigerian without telling me you're in Nigerian. When they want to say something bad, they say, God forbid bad thing. No, it will not happen to me or your enemy. But then again, they now state the reality. But I think, as you said earlier, I mean, it's a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah.
And I mean, for those who have called earlier to say it's their wife, I'm not preempting anybody, but if I'm in that situation, I mean, I would want you to save me, not for selfish reasons, but then
Not
again,
for cleaning of diaper,
exactly.
wearing of diaper.
But then again,
because I want you to know that. you want to be
and then I am the bearer, obviously. So, God willing, there are other opportunities, avenues for us to give birth to more children. Aside that, even if you now don't pick me and you pick the child, there's so much stress that would overwhelm you emotionally. See, no matter how you want to say it, nobody will take care of a child the way the mother or the father would. So with this happening now, it's definitely going to put the man out of job for a while, because now the paternity leave will have to be in place. Because the baby no longer has a mother, then let's say the father now has, mother-in-law, and his mother is still alive. They'll be here for a while, but will they be there forever? Do they even have the strength enough, talking about, nurturing the child 100%, equally that be cannot be the same. Let's not even kid ourselves. So I would say the mother.
Does it matter if you've had
other children?
Even
if it's the first child, even if it's, you'll be trying for so long, regardless, I will still pick the mother.
All right. Hi, good evening. Hello.
Hi, good evening. Lady.
Hi, good evening. How you doing? Do you want to, yeah, okay.
Very well, thank
You're
you.
driving.
My name is Izu.
Hi, Izu.
Sorry?
Izu, right?
How you doing?
Izu money.
Yes, Izu.
Okay, now tell us, what shall that do in that situation?
Well, personally, I think it's my wife I will save. The reason is not even because she's going to have other children, but come on, after the whole stress of 9 months, what she suffered through 9 months carrying that child, and then I'll now let her die.
Yeah.
She stays.
Okay.
She stays, ma'am. She stays. So,
I definitely
the child can go. We'll probably. Sorry?
No, go on.
Go on.
We could always have another child, even if it's a situation where she may not be able to have another one. She's important at the time.
Yeah, there are other methods. There are adoption methods. Yeah,
surrogacy and the rest.
Yeah,
exactly. So come on, watch her go through first trimester, the whole throwing up and feeling down. Second, then the whole load of carrying the baby.
Yeah.
That has me to choose who will stay. Come on, she's staying. She waits.
Thank you so much, Izu. You're so spot on. This is someone you've known. Even if you've not been married for so long, but then it's your significant other.
Yeah.
So that would definitely even crush the partner, and the emotional support, the physical support that is supposed to be there when the child is down here might not be there in reality.
True.
So
yeah, if you just tuned in, people, we're talking about a scenario where there is a complication at childbirth, and we're asking the men, are you choosing to save your partner or the child? And women, would you want for your partner to save you or your child? The conversation is about, complications at childbirth. From a doctor's point of view, who would you say, is best to save. I don't know if that's the way to put it or ask it, but yeah.
And also, as a doctor, what's your experience? Have you ever been in such a situation? Who did the father ask you to save? Who did the mother ask you to save?
Yeah, I remember the conversation we had yesterday, and I remember saying that I've seen a couple of how do I put it now? Things on social media, say Twitter and Instagram, where a random account is going to ask that if you are to save your partner, that's if you are to save your wife or your baby, like your pregnant wife or your baby, that your pregnant wife in labor and your baby, that who are you going to save and all of that. And then they usually be like a whole lot of debate. I'll save my partner, I'll save my baby, yada yada yada. But then these things don't happen. I don't know who came up with
Shocking.
I don't know who came up with this scenario, but in real life, in hospitals, nobody is going to come and ask the father that do you want to pick between your wife and your baby?
Are you for real?
Yes. I mean, of course, there are complications during childbirth where either the partner or the baby will be at risk. That happens a lot. Quite a lot. That there are complications like that, but we have an obligation to automatically save the mother.
Oh,
according
as a doctor,
to ethics now.
Yeah,
we save the mother. It's just the mother comes first. The mother is primary.
And why? Why is this? Is this a rule? Is this why?
Well, I can't exactly pinpoint why, but then personally, I feel like the mother can always give birth to another child.
Right.
Although, I mean, it's not like we're going to save the mother and neglect the child. No, we'll try our possible best to also save the child, because no doctor wants to go into labor room or an operating theater and lose anybody, no matter how little the person is. But at the very first thing, the primary thing is to make every attempt to save the mother.
Wow.
To start with, we are not even, I mean, normally nobody is even going to leave the theater to come outside, look for the husband of the mother.
So it's just Nollywood movie.
It's Nollywood.
Do you get? I was having a discussion that this happened to your wife, but you are going to have to only save one. No, that doesn't work. I mean, if you are saving the baby and leaving the mother, that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way.
All right. I have a question for you, Dr. T, Dr. S. Could you let us know the scenario where this kind of complications occur? Is it due to lack of blood, or why do we have these situations occur where a life would be lost due to childbirth? Could you explain to us and how it can be averted?
That could be like a very, very long topic, because you have to go into maternal mortality, go into fetal mortality and all of that. But usually, one of the main causes of losing anyone, like either the mother or the child in labor, usually from prolonged labor. Prolonged labor is risky to the child, that's the fetus or the child, and also risky to the mother. And there are a couple of things that could cause prolonged labor. Yeah, I mean, it could be from a small pelvis, that's the passage.
Okay.
Yeah, like in medicine, we say prolonged labor could either be from the baby, from the passage, or from the mother. Usually something like that. Yeah. So prolonged labor could be from the baby. Say the baby has like naturally a big egg. I mean, it's funny, but it happens. When the baby's egg width is bigger than the mother's pelvis, there could be a prolonged labor. And if action is not taken immediately, the action is usually a cesarean section. If it's not taken immediately, it could be detrimental to the fetus and also be detrimental to the mother. So in such instances, nobody's going to come and ask
the father
that is outside that, okay, your wife has prolonged labor, your baby's heart rate is reducing, your baby's getting tired, your wife is also getting tired and you can only save one of it and all of that. No, nobody's going to do that.
Okay.
So it's just a scenario that I don't know.
That never happens. That we just see Nollywood, and now we brought it to real life.
What did you say?
I say it's just scenarios that we see in Nollywood that we brought to real life on social media.
Yes. And then it now became very common and very believable.
Yeah.
People just think that there are situations where a doctor operating will come and ask somebody.
Be dragging looking for the father, the whole. Hey,
Do you understand all that time that you should spend in the labor room trying to save? So what about situations where, obviously, I think this is just me asking. You said your obligation is to save the mother, right? But in situations where the mother would not make it, is that ever a possibility?
There are several situations where we personally feel somebody might not make it, but we still go ahead and make sure give our 100% and make sure that the person makes it.
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Okay. Nice. Thank you so much. So their responsibility is always towards the mother first. Thank you for highlighting that.
So, ladies, appreciate you so much for your time. Sincerely, we definitely look forward to having a chat with you again very, very soon.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, thank you for your thoughts and comments, enlightening us on what is actually the reality of so many people. I think we'll now take more calls this morning.
Bye.
I'm sorry, I'm a breakfast girl. I'm a breakfast girl. It's not morning yet.
The number
It's not morning.
091
It's not breakfast show yet.
770.
Hello.
Exactly.
By the South Nigeria, Nigeria melody.
6 please don't carry us to Katina. Let's stay in Lagos.
Well, I really love this topic tonight. It's a very fantastic topic anyway. So let me introduce myself in case of our new caller. This is Sisters now for Madeju was shooting.
Sisters, you don't move, be that too.
Yes, so since now.
Can I ask doctor a question or let me contribute?
Yeah, no, contribute to.
Okay, you said between the mother or the child, who I'm going to save. Now my pikin, no, because it's not easy to carry pregnancy. It's my child, I beg. But it just depends on how the issue proceed at that time. because I heard what the doctor said, everything that I agree to him, but in one way or the other, there's some things that he said that is not possible, that he has not had it in the hospital. But some hospitals, they have their own principle of those that they are going to save between the mother or the child. Because we are talking about life, we'll not be saying the doctor that is going to do the operation or whatever. But in one way or the other, I agree to all he said anyway.
But you still pick your child.
Yeah, this one, I don't even want to know whether I'm twins are the boy or a girl, but now that child will matter. The woman might, if he can survive, but their child, 9 months not be my mind now, and that child can bring me blessing.
Hey,
well, I pray that God this should not happen, that let the woman die or whatever. I don't pray for them, but for me, when it happens that way, now my child I will go for.
Thank you. We appreciate.
But you know what? We are containing this topic now. Some married couple or some divorced couple now, if they can call into so that single people like we can learn from them, and all those are experts
really need
doctors, all those are therapy too. Let them try to advise us so that we can know the way of doing things appropriately.
Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
you need a therapist to tell you who to pick between your child and your wife. You need a therapist to tell you that. Like, you can't make
You just
that
heard the
decision.
doctor even say it. I don't understand why.
And he said that
Anyways.
regardless of what the doctor said, if it were him and if it were left to him, he would pick his wife. That's why we said earlier that there are some men that would actually pick pick his child. There's some men that would actually pick their child.
But for you ladies, you think that's not okay, right?
That's your opinion. That's your opinion, and that's your family. You should your opinion. That's your opinion, and that's your family. You should make sure he has that conversation with whoever he intends to marry in future. That my baby, I beg, as you won't go get
baby,
belle,
my wife, exactly.
If you call her baby now. My wife, as you go get this belly, just know if complication happen and they ask me to pick, I will pick the child. Just let her know. Do you understand? Let her know.
Number again, 091-6035-7705. You can leave us a message on WhatsApp, 0909-916-4403. If there ever was complications at childbirth, men, we're asking you if you would choose your baby or your wife? And women, would you want to be saved, or would you rather your husband ask that the child be saved, even though now we have confirmation that doctors have the responsibility to save the wife at all costs, like she is their core priority when such situations occur? She gets saved first, and they do their best to also save the child. But yeah, just hypothetically speaking, what would you do if you found yourself in such a situation? Call us up, leave us a message on WhatsApp. It's Girlish on City 105 on FM. Do not go anywhere.
City 105.1 FM, your number one lifestyle station.
For the final lap of the
The funny thing is
conversation.
that I'm just imagining this conversation, taking into cognizance or using 626, that's the last caller, using his stand where he says that he will pick his child, that's his blood and blah blah blah. I'm just imagining the wife, like, let's say, okay, the doctor, even though we know these things never happen, like the doctor said, like the people never have such conversations with the father, but let's just say it happened, and he went to meet the father and said, your wife and your child, there's been a complication, we need to pick somebody to save someone, and the father now tells the doctor, you know what, I pick my child, save my child, let my wife go. I just kind of say, okay, go. They now, if the doctor goes into the theater and he tries to save the child, after much ado, blah, 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 the wife too now eventually
Makes it.
And the doctor was like, oh my God.
This is the Nollywood story.
Yeah. It is actually.
The doctor was like, oh my God. Congratulations. What happened that you made it? We thought you were not going to make it.
Now,
We're going to say, because we got information from your husband
and we
that
spoke to your husband
we
earlier
should-
that things were really going in hard and stuff, and he said that we should pick the child. How do you intend to continue that kind of marriage? There's no need now. From that place, wife has to go back to her father's house. Like, from the hospital, she really has to just go back to her father's house, because am I your enemy?
Yeah, like, you want to be dead.
But then again, there can be an excuse for that. At that point in time, the husband might be overwhelmed with emotions. Because your prayer is not to
Ever been in
lose
such a
one,
situation.
to be not a, so I mean, it can just be at the spur of the moment. Just okay. There's no one way to look at it, honestly. But I mean, now with the explanation of the doctor, what surprised me was even after the doctor had spoken, he still said that.
He said he heard. I clearly heard what the doctor
Yeah,
said.
but
But I'm sticking to my.
I just want to let you know that I love my child.
Michael from Ogba says, I would definitely choose my wife. We can have another baby, and if we can't, I will stick to her. City FM, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Vice Papa. Good evening, ladies.
Wow, good evening, Baby Sasa. Good evening, ladies. Really?
So the rest of us are just ladies.
We should take our greetings from.
Please greet
I'm sorry.
before they send me away from the show.
I can't remember your name.
Yeah.
So that's why.
No, it's not your fault. It's Tara. Tara did not give us a really good
Tara,
introduction.
I did not.
Sarah, good evening.
Hey. Melody and Baby. Yeah.
Vice Papa, good evening.
Yes, good
There's
evening.
no more person.
Melody.
Sorry, I can't remember your name.
Melody.
No, not remember your name.
Okay, good evening, Melody.
Good evening,
Vice
though.
Papa.
Okay, tell us.
Yeah, so please, well, like you said, he's not married yet, so he may
Change his
he's
mind.
entitled to his opinion.
Of
Right.
course, married or
And all
not,
that.
they're definitely entitled to it.
Yeah, he's entitled to his opinion. But for me, I will go for my wife.
Why?
Yeah.
One of the vows we've taken is for better, for worse, in sickness and in health. So I will choose her, believing that God will give us another child. And even if that will not happen, I have the option of always adopting. So time and time again, I will choose my wife 1,000,000 times over.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you so much for calling in and for choosing
You're
your
welcome.
wife.
It's a lovely topic, and I said I just must call in this evening.
Thank you. We didn't get your name, though.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yeah,
What's
sorry, we
your
didn't get your name.
name?
Your name is
My
Raphael.
name is Babajide.
Oh,
Babajide.
Babajide.
All right,
Thank you so much for
Thank
calling.
you for calling
Yeah.
in.
Right.
Bye.
Yeah. So yeah, bye. I mean, the vows. people take, married people take. I think it's not just, it shouldn't just be on paper. You should live by it every day. You look at your spouse, and even if you don't affirm it, you don't declare it, it's something you have to constantly put on your mind, because anything can happen at any time, and that would just keep you grounded and keep you in tune with whatever it is you're doing in your marriage. True. And if you have that in mind, when these kind of situations come up, you will know what to do. And of course, with the guidance of God, because he needs to lead you.
Hello. Yeah, hello.
Okay. Good evening.
Finally an adult.
Yeah.
What's your name? Good evening. Yes, please. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Samson.
Oh, yeah, Samson. Talk to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is the first time. I'm a first-time caller.
Yay! Please don't be a stranger. What are your thoughts on what we're talking about?
Yeah, my thought on this is very clear. Because one, both the mother and the baby, they are very important. But one thing is, the wife you've been staying with for many years should be more important, because the baby that she's about to give birth to, he or she has not even seen the life. The love, affection has not been there. But the love and affection from the wife has been there from inception. So totally, I agree. Everybody has their own decision to make. But as for me, I go for my wife.
Right.
100%.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Samson. Appreciate you.
Do call us again if you can. Do you know that sometimes you can even feel resentment? There's so many women that they get PTSD. PTSD. After childbirth. We would not neglect that. How much more the husband now, when the woman is missing, you have no idea, you have no clue. You're left to the whims and caprices of those who are there to help you and assist you. At the end of the day, you're gonna be left with the child.
Yep.